Hey, what's going on, everybody? BDL44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the score was 109-104, and y'all gonna have to forgive me because I'm not gonna really be telling y'all too much about stats. I glanced at the stats a little bit, but the frustration is more so what's driving me to speak rather than analysis. So y'all, I'm just gonna say the disclaimer early. You can't let Isaiah Hartenstein get 17 boards and 7 offensive rebounds, man. We got out rebounded by 12 tonight. Gave up 11 offensive rebounds. Julius Randle was killing us. I mean, it's kind of like you're watching a team play your style and beat you doing your thing. We're a team that likes to score in the paint, as we were talking about earlier in my Laker video. And the Lakers got outscored in the paint by quite a bit. The Knicks got to the line twice as much as us because of it. And they shot a slightly better percentage from behind the arc. So they just really killed us in just about every necessary category on our home floor, man. We only lost by 5 points, but I thought shot selection was bad tonight. I thought we were struggling in a very key area, and it was Taurean Prince. You know, tonight I've been very pleased with Taurean Prince over the last several weeks, but when you overuse him, nothing good happens. And that's the problem. You know, you gotta identify when he has it and he's hitting shots. Boom, keep him on the floor. When he doesn't, his limitations really harm you, man. And you gave him 38 minutes tonight, Darvin, and he gave you 3 of 13 from behind from the field. I think it was 3 of 13 from behind the arc. I don't ever need that, man. I don't ever need that. When I look at him getting like 38 minutes and I look at Rui Hachimura having 17. At halftime, I told y'all Rui Hachimura was getting cooked on the defensive end. So I wasn't pleased with Rui necessarily, but I don't ever need Taurean Prince to damn near, if not fully, double Rui Hachimura's minutes total on any night ever. I never need that, man. I never ever need that. LeBron James had a triple-double. Miss Triple-Dub showed up for LeBron. But I thought his three-point shot selection was bad. It was bad. I thought he did some really good things, boarding the ball, playing physical. I thought he took a lot of punishment, unfortunately, tonight. But the shot selection for Braun was especially poor tonight, from behind the arc specifically. I didn't like any of that, really. And he's been shooting poorly for the last 3 games, basically, from behind the arc. I ain't really like much of anything I've been seeing from him from behind the arc lately, which is sad because he's having a hell of a year shooting the ball. But after the championship game, it ain't been pretty much good ever since. Maybe even before that, really, because we didn't shoot any threes in the championship game. But yeah, he's back to being the old Bron, shooting in the ways that irritate me a bit. And I'm noticing something too. I don't know if this is a theme, but the last time he had like double-digit assists, he had 14 assists in one game. We got beat. I think that was a Spur game. He had 11 assists tonight. We got beat. And I don't know if I should even look into that or not. He's been assisting like crazy, and it's been really, really amazing in the stats. But we're losing these games. Just something I'm looking at. Nothing, probably nothing. I thought Austin Reeves played pretty well, but he had some very timely turnovers, unfortunately. But I don't think it masked all the good that he did out there. He was shooting very well in the first half, hustling, trying to get to the line. But you know, all in all, I thought this was a good Austin Reeves game. Not great, but good. It would have been fantastic if we could have just kept them turnovers down. Some of the ones we were dribbling off our foot and stuff like that. That's where we really hurt ourselves. But otherwise, I thought he was good. Anthony Davis was good. I liked Anthony Davis's play tonight. I thought he was really, really effective. But I thought that we kind of rested him too much for what it is that we were doing. And I said that in the halftime video. When you got Anthony Davis with such a soft matchup, Jericho Sims and Hardenstein, you gotta go to work. You gotta put Anthony on the floor and let him go for 40 minutes that night, and then you rest him in the next game or something. You know what I mean? But not in a night where a lot of what your advantage is coming from him. I thought we played just absolutely backwards tonight in that regard. So once again, I look at Darvin Ham and I say I don't think I really loved your game plan. I know that Vanderbilt kind of re-aggravated the Hill tonight, so it kind of limited to what we could really do. And since Christie played so poorly in the last game, I wasn't entirely upset for him getting a DNP tonight, although I thought we could use him. And I think if you instill a little more confidence in the young fella, you might be pleased with what you see, because he really is a good defensive player and he can hit jump shots. And he did have a bad game. I don't know if he doesn't just bounce back and have a good game tonight. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. I thought we underutilized Jackson Hayes a little bit. I didn't think he got enough minutes tonight. This would have been a night where I wanted to see some Christian Wood. You know what I mean? I thought we were reactionary. I thought we were reactionary to guys having played poorly in previous games a little too much tonight, going up against a Knicks team that utilized more of its team and kind of just brought it to the Lakers in a physical way. Bron's taking on too much punishment. AD, you want to rest him, but you're not putting centers in to help. So you got the backup center of the Knicks killing us on the boards because of it. I don't think Hartenstein goes for 17 boards if you give them a healthy dose of Christian Wood, who rebounds the ball well. Now, we can look at Christian Wood's weaknesses defensively. We can look at the fact that he hadn't been shooting well from behind the arc and justify that with sitting him down. But you can also look at his ability to score the ball and look at his rebounding and justify why you needed him on the floor. So it's like when you focus too much on guys' weaknesses and not enough on what it is they bring to the table, and then you look down there and realize Christian Wood is a rebounder and you got out rebounded by 12 boards rather, it's kind of difficult, man. It's kind of difficult. I get frustrated because I don't really know if Darvin's looking at things in a very intelligent way as it pertains to, okay, I'm going to rest this guy because I know we got a hard week coming up. We're going to be on the road. Some of these guys are injured. Let's try to make this Knicks game a soft game for the road trip. And looking at it from an 82 game schedule perspective to where he's smarter than me as it pertains to, maybe I just don't need to be focused too much on this game, and just because in the long run it'll be better if guys rest. Like, I can't figure out if he's doing things in a very intelligent way or if he's doing things in an unwise way. It's hard for me to really gauge, and I'm trying to outthink my own self as it pertains to overthinking what Darvin's doing. But at the end of the day, if you're trying to win the basketball game you're in, there are certain things that you do to play into your success, and there's certain things you do that play into your failure. And I thought we did things that played into our failure tonight as a team, man. Started with Darvin's game plan, and it ended with some of the players on the floor, man. We're just doing stuff that just did not play to Lakers winning the game against the Knicks. Now, if we're trying to punt this game to go forward, like I thought we did with the San Antonio game, and just kind of rest things and just let it be, then that's just what you chose to do. But I don't think we expected to lose either one of those games. The last San Antonio loss or this one. And then you consider the fact that we played poorly against San Antonio. The game before that, barely won in an epic choke job that nobody actually felt like they won. And then you consider the fact that we lost the Dallas game as well. So it's like we could very easily be on a 4-game losing streak against teams that we expect to be better than this year. Dallas, maybe not, but the Spurs, the Knicks, I think we're better than the Knicks, man. I really do. But tonight, we saw the Knicks outplay the Lakers. They closed better than us. I thought that Jalen Brunson was fantastic tonight. I thought Julius Randle was physical. Like I said, keep mentioning Hartenstein. You got to. Quickly was really pushing the pace hard, and it really was a big thorn in our side and a big part of why they won. So it was a lot of good Knicks stuff going on down there. Josh Hart was playing hard out there. I thought that he was really effective in making things difficult. 50-50 balls were something that the Knicks were just beating us to in some cases. Just really getting to that spot. At the end of the third quarter, I was thinking to myself, the Knicks are a team where either you're going to, how did I word it? I wanted to get this right, but either you're going to keep up with them or get run over, basically. That's what it really came down to. Either you keeping up with them or they're running you over, because they're going to move whether you like it or not. Guys like Julius Randle, Josh Hart, Hartenstein, they come with a lot of energy quickly. Brunson, they come with a lot of energy. This is what I was trying to say at the end of my Laker video when I was in Hollywood today. You're going to be met with a lot of intensity tonight, because you got ex-Lakers down there and you got some real intense basketball players. And I thought the Knicks played a much better brand of defense than what we expected from them. They were getting their hands on everything, really swarming us, playing good defense. Once we found ourselves in our spots, they would bring a help man, come by and swipe the ball away. And we weren't getting the calls on a lot of hammers and stuff like that. The refs were definitely pro Nick tonight. So it was just a lot of stuff that I looked at and I just said, some of it was the Knicks. You got to give them a lot of credit for just flat out being a better team tonight. And I want to make sure I make that clear. But then there were things down there that I just felt like, the Lakers they're kind of punting this basketball game. Kind of punting it, fam. And I don't even know that you mean to do it. It's just Darvin Ham, he's just doing things the opposite way it makes sense. If a guy's 3 for 13 from behind the arc, why is he getting the most minutes? If you're trying to win the game you're in. Now, if you're trying to rest the other guys because you're getting ready for the road trip, then maybe you just want that guy on the floor for this game so you could do the real stuff against Chicago. And it's like, all right, well, if that's what you're doing, you do understand that Chicago is a game that you can either win or lose. San Antonio's a game you can either win or lose. When you start punting games, thinking other games are more important than the games that you're preparing for, it's almost like you do understand that these are not tournament games coming up, right? All of these games matter the same. You're not going to get a banner for this, for beating Chicago and beating Boston. It's the same L that you're going to get punting against San Antonio. So it's like the Lakers are kind of like, they're confusing me as it pertains to how they're viewing what they're doing. I'm not quite getting it. I'm just not getting it. We're losing games we're not supposed to be losing, trying to prepare for games that we could possibly lose even if we play our best. Isn't that backwards? Like, if you do everything right, you could still lose to the Celtics. You could still lose to the Timberwolves this year. You could still lose to the Knicks when Kobe White's playing like this. Should it not make sense for you to be playing a better brand of basketball against the Spurs? Like, I think we're doing it backwards, man. I think you got to secure the wins that you're supposed to win. And I think against the good teams, you do the stuff that you're doing against the Spurs against them because you could lose those games either way. And not only that, but you're also giving them data on you when it comes to playoff time. So it would probably be best for you to dumb it down a little bit against those great teams so that they don't know you as well in theory. Now, granted, you want to win season series. I want to make that very clear. There's another thought that comes with that is say you want to win every game you're in for season series purposes, and you want to definitely get home court advantage of the playoffs. So winning these important games against playoff teams is obviously something you should be rooting for. But in the presence of trying to load manage and rest guys for an 82-game schedule and you don't think your team is durable enough to make it through the season, it seems like this strategy is inverted to the actual success of what it is we're doing, because we're losing the games we're not supposed to lose and could potentially lose the games that we are supposed to lose. You see what I'm saying? The ones that are against teams that could potentially be better than us anyway. So I'm not feeling what I'm seeing down there, man. I think the Knicks is a winnable game. This is a team that's only 3 games above 500. Well, 4 now, but they're not like that. They're missing a whole Mitchell Robinson, who's supposed to be their best offensive rebounder. Like, they're not what we made them look like tonight. They're just not, man. I'm not even gonna hold you. They're not as good as we made them look tonight. And I think Jalen Brunson is fantastic. I've been on record saying that Jalen Brunson could potentially be one of the great players, you know what I mean, out there, because he's just attacking the league in a way that's very difficult. Super unorthodox, very, very unpredictable, multi-layered, 3-level scorer, and fantastic playmaker. Doesn't need to jump over people to score on big people. He's just a great player. And when you leave him so many opportunities to shut you down, fantastic from the line, he's going to do that. He's one of the great closers in this league right now. And that's what I see there. So while we're struggling to score, we're struggling. We're pushing, trying to get things done. We're throwing bad shots up. We're trying to get offensive rebounds, but we're failing too. Certain situations like that. And then you see him come down and just create a play and score in the paint from 10 feet on a teardrop, or shoot a 3 and knock it down, or make a play off somebody else just to receive it again and then hit another teardrop. It's just like, he's scoring too easy for us to be doing the shot selection that we're doing for Taurean Prince to be going 3 for 13 on the offensive side for us. Bron launching airball 3-point shots. Cam Reddish launching corner threes at clank. Like, our offense is not matching the simplicity of their offense. They come down, score easy, get to the line, come down. You know what I mean? And for us, we're fighting and getting nowhere. And then I look in the paint and I realize, they only had one damn center that really was out there, man. Otherwise, it was everybody that Anthony Davis would be able to shoot over. We should have just been spamming Anthony the whole time. So for me, I'm just looking at this Laker team. I'm like, all right, bro. I need you to do this and this in order to give yourself the best opportunity to win. You did that and got the results that came with it, man. That's what I saw. That's exactly what I saw. And I want to win the game I'm in. And I know that sounds like a very simple, obvious statement, but it speaks to an understanding that there may be some punting of games going on to kind of focus us in on the bigger picture. And I'm having a hard time with that if that's what the Lakers are doing. I don't like that. I want to win the game I'm in. I want to win every single damn night, man. And if I see a player sitting on my bench not getting any minutes with the strength to attack what is actually beating me, I have a hard time absorbing this making sense at all. When I look at Max Christie and his ability to guard the perimeter and rebound the ball not being used. I look at our guy Christian Wood with the ability to rebound the ball not getting used, and I'm getting beat on the boards by 12. I see Anthony Davis sitting to the 6-minute mark in the second quarter, and we down by 11. He comes back in the game. We end up by 1 at the end of the half. And then I look up in the fourth quarter, and we're not utilizing him again, not bringing him in to like the 8-minute mark or something like that, and we're down by 10. It's like, are we not seeing what works for us, Darvin Ham? Are we not seeing it? It's not. Do we not know how to win this game? You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing for me. So I don't know, man. I'm just growing really, really frustrated. I don't know that in the end I won't be pleased if we're healthier in the end, or if we went string together the next 4 or 5 games, zeroing in on these teams like we did in the tournament. You know what I mean? Because I know we're focused on the Chicago game. We're focused on the Timberwolves game. We're focused on the Boston game. If we get the results where we look like we did against the Pelicans in those games, and it's like, okay, well, that's good, but we still just punted 2 equally important wins against teams that would otherwise give us easy wins if we just would have gave them that intensity. You give San Antonio that intensity, you only going to have to play half the game because your starter's going to be sitting in the second half. You see what I'm saying? You could do everything right against Boston, still get beat by 10. So I don't understand it. I don't understand it. You got to utilize more of your team against a Knicks team like this tonight, man. You got to utilize more of your team. And I get it, guys ain't been playing that great. We didn't have the greatest game. Max was bad in the last one. We've had issues with Jackson Hayes, even though I thought he did okay tonight. We've had issues with Christian Wood. I get it. I truly understand. But what I don't understand is why the hell Taurean Prince was on the floor for 38 minutes to shoot so poorly when we know he's limited. One of the things I had a problem with Taurean Prince tonight is there were a lot of dynamic plays that were being made in the open court that he was ruining because of his flat-out limitations, man. It happened like twice or 3 times tonight. And they zoomed in on LeBron James after one of those plays, and I don't know if he was frustrated about that or not, but you could see it on his face. His face represented how I felt watching those plays, so I was only assuming that he was frustrated about the same thing I was. I like Taurean when he's catching and shooting, and in the first half, he was shooting the ball very well. In the second half, I got nothing from him, man. He was a big part of the problem, and if his 3 ain't falling, he's a real big part of the problem because he's getting cooked on the defensive end, and as I said, dynamic plays don't happen with him on the floor, but so often because of his limitations. So it's like if we got an open court situation, you got a guy streaking down the floor, he gonna mess up his damn dribble, so it's gonna be off balance, and the play doesn't get made, or stuff like that. It's like It's only but so much of this you look at as a basketball fan, and then look over at the coach, and he seems content. You're like, bro, is he okay? Is coach okay, fam? Is he looking at the same thing I'm looking at? Because this is a player, Taurean Prince, who should be sitting down after this play. And he just messed up a fast break with LeBron James. Bro, that's the type of stuff get people traded. You gotta sit him down, fam. Like, and before it's happened not once, but like maybe twice or 3 times on the night, and you just leave him out there for the most minutes of anybody, damn near, if not entirely. I don't remember exactly who had the most minutes, but I know he had all of them. He had all of them. And so for me, it's like, if Torian's having one of them nights that he's been having the last couple of weeks, over the last 4 games, I thought he was pretty good, hitting shots, this and that. Cool, leave him out there to score. He can hit all 13 of them if he's really streaking. I've gained confidence in Torian, but I'm not confused about what it is he cannot do. I'm not confused about the fact that if that 3 ain't falling, he's basically a cone. And on the offensive end, if the 3 ain't falling, he's basically a liability to dynamic plays. Super limited, fam. Fantastic shooter, super limited. And then it's D'Lo. I'm tired of D'Lo. Can I be honest with y'all, man? It's not that he's not a talented player. I think he's very talented. I'm just tired of the nights like this. I'm tired of this, bro. And I think a lot of Laker Nation is too. We're just tired of not seeing success come out of a player that's so talented, bro. And I know we need him for certain things. And I know when he's on, he can be a game buster. He can bust the game open. But it's been a long time since I felt like he had ice in his veins, man. It's been a long time, bro. Half the time it's mid-range shots just clanking off the rim. Somebody blowing past him. Occasionally he'll lay the ball up. He's really nice around the rim. He's making plays for AD, so I love that about him. I don't have to worry about AD getting the ball as much because he's definitely going to be making plays for AD, so that's a necessity for this roster. But then you look up and he had single-digit points? You're a scorer. Like, you're the 2nd overall pick, bro. You didn't have nights like that in Ohio State. You did not have nights like that in Brooklyn. You didn't have nights like that too often in Golden State. So for me, it's just like, I know his name has been involved in trade rumors. Maybe there's an injury I don't know about. But I'm telling y'all, man, I need D'Lo to have a different role. If I'm being honest with y'all, I just want him to have a different role. I don't even really need to trade him because I want his strengths on my team. But I need somebody else to be the facilitator who is a little more likely to score the ball more often, man. And I heard a name, Fred VanVleet. I don't know why they would want to trade him. He had an amazing night tonight with the Rockets. I don't think they want to trade him. His contract ain't nothing to want. But I would like to put Fred VanVleet on the team. You keep D'Lo here. You know what I mean? I could still find a whole lot of playing time for a guy like D'Lo and then just utilize his shooting ability a bit more to where I don't need him to be my primary point guard. Not at all. He can be a secondary point guard or a shooting guard off the bench. Playing the quickly role, basically. Playing the quickly role. That's where he's best for me, man. It's not that I want to extract him from the team. I just want to use him differently, if I'm being real with y'all. That way, if he's having a night like tonight, he only had 22 minutes. And if the point guard's out, then I could play him at the point guard position and feel pretty good about it. Maybe I get a big game out of him. But to have to rely upon him to be the 3rd best player on the team, arguably, and he doesn't slot properly next to Austin Reeves, it's just a lot of stuff there about his piece that just don't seem like it makes sense on this team, man. Not at all. Now, I could find a better place for his piece. And I ain't trying to give nobody no ideas, but I just think his piece is best utilized in a different roster than this right now. We need what he does, but he ain't best utilized in this dynamic. And when he has games like this, it's such a detriment to our overall production. As to where if you put him in a different position where he's not needed to do all that, where you got a bunch of people pulling away from him so that he can have open shots in rhythm and kind of take advantage of what it is that he does at the pace he likes to go. Oh, he's a problem, fam. You put him on, I'm just going to say one team. You put him on the Dallas Mavericks and he's going to go off. next to Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, coming off the bench for one of those two guys, he's going off, fam. Because Kyrie and Luka are going to pull all that pressure away from him to where all he needs to do is be himself. Bounce the ball a couple times, do it in his pace. You know, he ain't needed to be dynamic every night. And so that's what I got to say about D-Lo. This was another frustrating D-Lo night. And I don't hate the piece. I just know that what I want him to do, me, BDF 44, what I want him to do is entirely different than what it is the Lakers need him to do. And because of it, we find ourselves frustrated with him. So that's what I got to say about D-Lo, man. I just think he's better somewhere else. Straight up. Or in a much more free role to have nights like this without it hurting us. So that's what I think about there. I don't know, man. This was a frustrating loss, man. I'm sick of losing to the Knicks at home, dude. I'm sick of that. Seeing Spike Lee with his fist up in the air and stuff like that. This team ain't won nothing since 1970, fam. I'm tired of this. I am tired of this, honestly. Losing to the Knicks is especially irritating to me. And this is coming from somebody who actually likes the Knicks. Like, I like the Knicks. I ain't a fan, but I've always liked the Knicks. But what I don't like is losing to the Knicks, if that makes any sense. I don't like losing to anybody, but I really don't like losing to a fan base who halfway fills up the arena every time they come to LA. They got too many fans here for all the damn losing they've done. That's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of losing. They beat us here a lot, and I'm sick of it. So yeah, that's something I want to get off my chest. And what can I say, man? The Lakers lost another game, man. It's a 2-game losing streak. We've lost 3 out of the last 4 games. We put up a banner for the in-season tournament and proceeded to show everybody why we only cared about the in-season tournament. That we only show up for games that have a tournament $500,000 attached to. You know, it's not it, man. None of this was it tonight. I ain't like none of it. I really didn't, man. Bron's 3-point shot selection was bad. I thought his stats told a different story than what I actually saw, man. I didn't think he had a really good game. I didn't. I thought he played hard. I thought he played hard. I thought he was efficient in certain ways. But I didn't get what I needed from Bron. I just didn't. I didn't get enough from AD, and it wasn't his fault. The coaches didn't use him enough tonight for my liking. Vanderbilt, I really hope he's not hurt, man, because we definitely need him on this road trip. So I sure hope that heel didn't get re-aggravated like I think it may have. Rui has been severely underutilized by this coach the entire time he's been here, if I'm being honest. Rui Hachimura has been severely underused by this coach ever since he was traded here from the Washington Wizards, bro. Last year in the playoffs, when he could not miss a shot, we barely used him. He was cooking teams. We barely used him. This year, he's not nearly shooting as well, but we're asking him to do stuff that we didn't ask him to do last time. Just give him the ball and let him put his head down and score, man. You know, let him get in his rhythm. I think part of the reason why he's not shooting well is because of the inconsistency of his role. You've rendered Christian Wood useless just because he can't play defense, as if half the rest of the league can't play no damn defense. I think that's frustrating, man, considering the fact that he really does board well. I'm not super in love with him. I have problems with his defensive plays. You know what I mean? I really do have problems with how he plays D. But he gives me good things that I need on the floor. So for me, it's like you give him no minutes on a night like this, and I have a problem with that. You know, I just, like, as bad as Max looked in the last game, I at least needed to see him 10 minutes, man. I don't want us to remove Max entirely from the rotation, especially when Gabe Vincent didn't even go tonight. It's almost like we were expecting Gabe to go and had a certain lineup routine for the night. And even though Gabe didn't play, we kept that routine anyway. That's what it almost felt like to me. Which is utterly stupid, if I'm being completely honest with you. It seems stupid anyway. I don't know if it actually is when you're looking at 7 or 8 games in a cluster. And maybe you want to rotate people a certain way for that. You see what I'm saying? I have to second guess what the coach is doing because I really don't know what the hell he's doing. And I'm hoping it's not as stupid as it looks. That's where I'm at, man. So, you know, that's what I wanted to say to you guys, man. Like I said, this ain't about no stats. I don't really remember what guys had. Triple-double for Bron. Austin Reeves had over 20 points. I think he had like 7 assists. I thought this was a good Austin night. But he did, again, key turnovers, certain things just didn't quite fall in our favor from an Austin standpoint. But overall, I thought he was a good. It's an irritating ass loss, man. The Laker fans is irritating, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm irritated. Some losses feel worse than others. I guess it's because we're stringing together so many bad games in a row. This is the 4th straight bad game for the Lakers, man. I'm not entirely excited about this road trip as it pertains to how we've been playing and what we expected to do. I done already told y'all the next game, Kobe White is going to be real special. Just like Jalen Brunson was tonight, Kobe White will be just as special, if not even more so. He's not the old Kobe White. He didn't turn into an all-star overnight, and we're going to find that out very quickly. So that's what I'm here to tell y'all, man. This is bad. Lakers is not, they're not showing us that they're any better than a team that only will win an in-season tournament, man. And that's a hard team to gauge over there with this LA team, man. Hard to gauge. Some nights they look like world beaters. Other nights they look like a lottery team, man. We've won a game by 44 points and lost a game by 44 points in a matter of 2 weeks. Won an in-season tournament game and then proceeded to lose to the worst team in the Western Conference in the same week. Like, who are you, LA? Who are you, fam? BDL 44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.